Hi, YouTube. How's it
Hi,
going?
YouTube. We're
Okay,
back.
we're back again. Whose thing is that one?
I don't know.
Let me get my
I don't recognize it.
Sadie's back again.
I don't recognize it. I'm sorry.
It's
Oh my God.
Eminem, so I guess I can't expect
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Okay.
We're talking about like the M&Ms that you eat. I
I
don't
love those ones.
know.
So many flavors.
I know. Peanut butter are my fave.
Are they?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I have a problem.
M&Ms?
Those ones are really good, but I have a problem with M&M because they made a coconut M&M and then they took it away and you can't find it anywhere. And I crave it. It's so good.
Really?
So I'm mad at them. Yeah. Do you not like coconut?
Yeah, remember I told you I don't like coconut.
Sorry, I
hate
forgot.
it.
I'm the worst.
Coconut and seafood are like
they're also making a seafood M&M, so that won't be your thing. Okay.
Oh
so God. We're gonna start recording now.
Okay, are you ready? So 3, do you have your app up?
I have it up. Wanna push record on 3,
2, 1, go.
Okay, I'm recording. You got yours?
Wait, stop yours. Just like erase that. I'm sorry, my metronome was on. Oh my God.
That's okay.
Hang on. Oh my God. Start over. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I should have had this like prepared before. Why did I not? Why is it saying I'm doing an instrument? I'm not doing an instrument. Oh my God.
GarageBand. It's too confusing.
Oh my God. Oh, there it is. Okay. Voice. Okay. Good Lord. Okay. All right. Now I'm better. Oh my God. Okay. Ready? And 3, 2, 1, record.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, clap. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3, clap. Okay. Hi. Oh, it's you.
Hi guys. Welcome back to Tea with Claudia and B. I am B. And
I'm Claudia
here. Welcome. We're so excited to do this week's episode. We're going to start off with a couple little updates or just things that we want you to be aware of. So the first thing this last week, what week are we even in? The week of January 10th, we posted on our Instagram something that we're going to keep up consistently, which is going to be a monthly book list of books that we have read and really enjoyed. So we'll have a category for each month. This month of January, we chose self-improvement because obviously a new year, it just seemed to fit. And then each of us chose 5 books that we've already read and really enjoyed to recommend. And they're basically books that we would just like tell a friend to read if they were looking for something in that category. And then we have 3 books that we plan on reading in that category, something that we've wanted to or heard is really good. So every month we're going to post a new list, and because we just love books, we thought that was a good way to incorporate like our recommendations on different things and share the love of books that are really good and authors that we've enjoyed and things like that. So
yeah, it's kind of like when I was little, my family, when we would go to birthday parties, what we would give our friends for their birthday would be our favorite book. So it's like we're giving our favorite book to you guys, just not paying for it.
Not paying for it. Also, we're not invited to your birthday party, which is rude, but yeah, like it'll just be kind of fun to share. If you guys have recommendations, feel free to send them to us because we love any chance to read a new book. So January's list is up. We posted it to our story and then we saved it in the highlights, the little bubbles on our on our profile, so you can always go and reference them there. They'll just be saved and live there forever. So we have that. Okay, next thing, going along with some more books and our Instagram, we're going to start something that we're pretty excited about. We're going to do stories throughout the week where one of us or sometimes both of us will get on our story and share a daily devotional from this book that Claudia has.
Yeah. Oh, I thought we were going live. Are we going live?
Well,
are we going live?
Yeah, you're right. We did decide that. I thought
we was live. That's
We're
okay.
gonna go live and we're gonna post
But,
things.
I mean, we can change it. That's totally fine. But yeah. Anyway, okay, yeah. So this book, I've always wanted to go through it. It's a Jane Austen devotional. So if you guys can see on YouTube what I'm holding up. It's a Jane Austen devotional, and it is, what is it? It doesn't say who it's by. That's weird. But I mean, that's the title of it, and it's really pretty. But basically, it has uh, different excerpts from all of the Jane Austens, and then it kind of has like a scripture to go along with it, and a little just talking through it and comparing it to the things in the Bible. So it's pretty cool. So for the example for this one, I went through and I tagged all the ones that it has Emma in it, since we're reading Emma first. And the first one is like talking about unhealthy relationships, and it talks about how Mr. Knightley does not like the relationship between Harry and Emma. He thinks it's unhealthy, which is true. So
Yeah.
it started unhealthy, but
Which is,
yeah.
I don't know. I love that insight. We'll talk about Emma later. I was about to dive into that.
I
But yeah,
know.
for February, we're focusing on Emma. So those will be all the devotionals. And then with that, because we're going to be doing a different focus on either the movie or something along the lines of Emma, our first episode in February, which will air on February 5th. Yes, on February 5th is going to, we're going to talk about two different movie versions of Emma, which will be the Gwyneth Paltrow version of Emma, which was the first one I ever watched. And then we're also going to talk about Clueless, which is a retelling, a modern day retelling of Emma. So we'll have those two movies.
Not modern anymore. It's 90s. Isn't that sad?
Modern retro. I know, it really is weird to me. Like it's funny because I feel like I have officially become like that old person that young people hear and roll their eyes, because I'm like, that wasn't that long ago. And then
I know.
Teenagers are like, I wasn't even born then. And I'm like, yeah, but that wasn't that long ago.
I know. Well, it's kind of like that. There's a TikTok video going around of I guess a girl recorded a TikTok, and she said, so this is for the older generation of TikTok, like the ones that were born in the late 90s. And then so people made like a video of that, and like recorded themselves like listening to it, and then they added the oh no, and then like they would put their they would like type the age that they were, or the year that they were born in, and it was really funny. So anyway, that's funny. It's kind of feels like that a lot of the time.
It does. That it's funny because that song is like invaded my brain. So whenever I have a moment of being like, oh, in my head, I like play that as I'm like watching something happen, and I'm like, oh no, I feel like this should be a TikTok.
No. I know. Yeah, that's so great. It's great. Yeah, and so funny story about that is when I was in high school, my friend, I remember she was a year older than me. And she was like, yeah, so in AP English with Miss Martinson. Hey, Miss Martinson, I don't know where you are in life, but whoa, what's up? She was like, yeah, so we're watching Emma and comparing it to Clueless. And I was like, shut the front door and lock it, because that is my favorite movie. Like Clue's my favorite. So and so I was like, okay. So then I got Miss Martinson the next year, and I went up to her and I was like, hey, so listen up. I heard last year that you did this. Can we do this now? We have to do this now. And she was like, that'd be fun. She was like, sure. And so I was like, okay. She was a really good teacher.
That's so funny. Okay, well, I mean, we're just paying her a tribute by doing it again on our podcast. No original ideas. We just recycle things. That's so funny. Okay, so if you haven't seen those movies yet, or if you just want to watch them so that they're fresh in your mind while you listen to that episode, please feel free to. They're great. Good way to spend your time. They're awesome.
Yeah. And we chose the Gwyneth Paltrow version because it's the shortest, and so it would be like a good chunk, Yeah. It's fun to watch and compare, and yeah, definitely super fun. Super fun.
Also, what else was also okay? So with that, because we're reading Emma for the month of February, we wanted to make sure that it wasn't going to become like a really big, overwhelming, stressful thing. Like this is supposed to be really fun and uplifting, that we all read the book together and then have all of these podcasts for you to listen to where we analyze the different movie versions of it. So with that, Claudia wanted to give like some advice on how to read Emma without it becoming overwhelming.
Yeah.
So take it away.
So basically, what you do is I have my copy here, and then I just look and see how many pages there are, and then I like take that number and then divide it by however many months there are in the month. And then that's how many pages that you would need to read a day. So with my version, I don't know if like each version, some versions have different page numbers. I'm not sure. Anyway, but it looks like I will need to read 14 pages a day. Like if I start February 1st, I'll need to read 14 pages a day. So that probably comes out to like about a chapter a day.
Yeah. Which isn't overwhelming when you think about it. It's
not too bad at all.
That goes way faster. I did this thing towards the end of last year where it's like a mental toughness challenge. It's called 75 Hard. And you have to read 10 pages a day of a nonfiction book. And I don't know, at first it was like overwhelming because I'm like, oh, that's such a chunk of time. I always have to manage it out. It goes way faster than you think, especially if you're into the book. So just figure out ahead of time what you need to do, and that way you won't fall behind or feel stressed or anything like that, and then just enjoy it. It's a good book.
Yeah, and if you do fall behind, it's not a big deal. It's just, the world will go on.
Yeah, it's fine. Like, don't worry, don't stress.
Yeah, it's fine. You can just listen to us and hear what we have to say about it.
As we will say things. Okay, and then I think that's everything with like updates or anything coming up. So we wanted to kind of transition a little bit into some tea talk, because it's tea with Claudia and B, and just do a little chit chat before we dive into the topic of today's episode. So first off, we thought it'd be kind of funny if we routinely shared like different obsessions that we're really getting into, because both of us have a little bit of the squirrel mentality, so that we get distracted by different things. So we know that there'll always be a new obsession for us to talk about.
Yes.
So, yes. Claudia, what's your obsession for this week?
Okay. Justin Bieber's Instagram. But I'm a little worried for him though. Okay. So I'm a sucker for a man of God, right? So he kept on posting like all these things on his story of, let me see, actually, I'm going to pull some up that I had shared on my story.
He does I do like it when there's, artists or famous people that have been through tough things, and then they really use that to turn to like a higher power and be uplifting. So he's good with that.
He is good. So he posted on the 12th, from someone who has seen and done it all, the true meaning of life is just spending time with our creator, involving him in our day-to-day, walking with him, enjoying his company, loving what he loves, and loving who he loves, in parentheses, everyone.
Justin, well done.
I know. I love Justin. And I've also been, actually, I guess I'll have two, because now looking back at this, I was like, I've been really obsessed with his Instagram. Also like Mr. Rogers quotes.
Yeah, you have been on a Rogers kick, huh?
Yeah. So because I love Mr. Rogers, like my goal in life would be to like be the female Mr. Rogers basically to kids. So but I liked this quote: there is no normal life that is free of pain. It's the very wrestling with our problems that can be the impetus for our growth. So
that's a good one. That's so good.
Oh yeah, for sure. Thinking about all the times where you're struggling really hard, but then when you overcome it, you grow.
Yeah, you do. Yeah. And like as an artist, I think pain creates better, going through something tough, you can like make it beautiful. And also Mrs. Rogers, I don't know her name, but this week Mr. Rogers' wife passed away, his widow that he left behind. So
yeah. I'm Like, I'm just glad that they're together finally, because that
I
was a
know,
long
right?
time. Yeah. And I bet you they're playing piano together because they both like played piano a lot.
Oh, that's the cutest idea. I love
Well,
that.
have you read the book 90 Minutes in Heaven?
No.
So
Should
what
we add that
happened
to
to
the
this
list?
guy? Yeah, well, I'll probably what I probably will add that to one of our reading lists. Like in the upcoming months. Anyway, but this guy basically essentially I think it was a car wreck. He dies for like 90 minutes and he goes to heaven. And
Okay.
he basically said when he first goes to heaven, he hears just this glorious music. And
Oh,
when he gets there, there's people that are so happy to see him, like from all of his life and hugging him and like cheering him on. I'm like getting kind of cry.
oh,
But so I just imagine them like, playing piano together because that's what they
yeah.
did all the time.
Oh,
They were like
yeah.
really good pianists. So
That's so cute.
I know. But let me
I love that.
share a couple more Rogers quotes that I really liked. We live in a world in which we need to share responsibility. It's easy to say, it's not my child, not my community, not my world, not my problem. Then there are those who see the need and respond. I consider those people my heroes, which that's
That's
a
such
big
a
one
good one for
now.
today.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
We
for
all need
sure.
that.
I know. Yeah. It's,
Be the helpers. Be the Mr. Rogers.
yes. Well, and I think also doing, I guess, standing up for things can look different for so many different people. Like for some people, they like to speak out, but for other people, they like to kind of be behind the scenes and like helping out in different things. So I think sometimes people, at least I know I have in the past, gotten very overwhelmed with like, oh, what can I do to help? What can I do to help? But I think if we're taking care of our community and our people in our life as much as we can and listening and using our gifts to help make the world a better place. Do you see what I'm saying? Am I making any
Yeah. No,
sense?
that makes perfect
Okay.
sense. I think that's such a good point. Like it's not going to be the same. We're not all the same. So our gifts we can give and share are going to be different.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
That's
Now,
so good. Oh,
before you talk about your obsessions, did I talk about how I was worried about that Justin Bieber might be on drugs or something? Did I
no, you
say
said you
that?
were worried about him. You
I
think he's
am
on
worried.
drugs again?
Was he on drugs? I don't know.
He
I
was,
don't.
well, when he was younger, he was on drugs. Oh, I think maybe I'm spreading a Justin Bieber rumor. I thought he was on drugs for
Justin
a
Bieber,
while. For
call and
like,
tell us.
Justin, have you ever been high? No, I thought that he was on drugs for a while, and there was like a time when the people in his life that were like with him all the time, they were like, we didn't even know if he was going to make it through the night sometimes because he was like
Oh God.
so
Oh, he could
so
have just
drugged up all
like
the time.
come to our house, Bethany, if we had a house. And
Should we make a Justin Bieber Foundation house? Should we do that? That's how we'll be a helper. Move over, Ronald McDonald. We got the J Beebs
not.
house.
Oh my gosh. And then he would okay, but then we would have like, help a lot of people and he would
We
totally
would.
come because he was the one that made the most make-a-wish wishes. Like,
Oh,
remember that? Oh, and then remember Mrs. Bieber, the little girl, the 5-year-old girl that had a
maybe
brain.
that's Justin Bieber.
That girl's really cute. But there was another girl who had a brain tumor and they had a
Oh, I didn't
wedding
know
at the
that one.
hospital. They
Hmm.
had a wedding at the hospital and it was and so they so sweet. Anyway,
That's
so he called
cute.
her Mrs. Bieber and he brought her like to his concert one time and she like they were all screaming whenever, she came out and she was like, "Why are they screaming? You're my husband." She was like, "What?"
Cool would it be?
Yeah.
Like, I think that would be the coolest thing about being famous to be able to give people experiences like that.
Oh yeah. Well, and
Mhm.
it's really sad because then she eventually did she did die and he said that was really hard to see as her like not being able to like because she had brain cancer so her not like things losing her sense of like being able to move and all of
Yeah.
that was so hard to see and uh, when she died he sang One Less Lonely Girl to
Stop
her
it.
with like a
Oh, that got me in the feels.
yeah with I know with a screen of like their pictures of them together and her, and oh my God.
Justin, don't be on drugs again, Justin.
Well, okay, the reason I'm a little concerned is because there's this video of him just in his shorts with like a mic like right up to his mouth, okay, and he is crisscross applesauce, and he is like into the mic and shaking. I'm gonna like play it and then show it kind of. Okay, hang on.
Hey, YouTube people, you gotta watch it.
Okay, hang on 1 second. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, but what if that's the weird creative process? Like
that could be,
because I know you hear like songs like Britney Spears. This is the thing, I've like said this so many times. Britney Spears songs, they're so weird. But how do you like start talking to somebody to be like, I have this idea for a song where I'll just be like, I wanna go. And let's just like do that on repeat, you know?
Okay, her Instagram, I know that that's a hot topic for a lot of things, but it is like crazy. I feel bad for her. I don't know what's going on.
I hope she's just creating a persona to put out there, you know?
Yeah, I started listening to this one like Britney Spears podcast about her, and it was really interesting. I just don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. I wish the best for her though, because I think she's
adorable. Too. I do
and
too.
Crossroads is really influential in my life, and I just hope that she, you know, gets good karma from that.
I know. Well, and then her Instagram though is very like childlike in a way. Yes. So I feel like that she's kind of resulting from trauma with that.
Yeah, I know. I've had that same thought, and that makes me like really like sad for her. But you know,
I know
if that's what she needs to do to get through it, I guess that's okay. That's her thing.
Yeah, it is okay. Okay. So what are your
Bless the
obsessions?
Bieber.
I was like
that's okay. Those are good obsessions. Mine, I'm just, you know, so I feel like every time we do this, I feel like you have like the cutest ones you come with, and then I'm like, dang it. I'm like,
what are you talking about? You were like, but the thing that made me laugh was when you were like, oh, my favorite musical, Seven Brides for Seven Brothers, which like, that's an awesome musical. I don't know why you would ever be like.
Well, because you were talking about these classics like Miss Saigon and Les Mis, but
okay, but
Seven Brides for Seven Brothers with Frankincense is still amazing. So
it is amazing.
That's okay.
Well, and it's not like I like pop in Les Mis to like chill out. Like the only reason is my like quote unquote favorite is because it's what influenced me to get into performing.
Totally. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So it's not like that I like have to jam out to it all the time. There was a time in my life where I jammed out to it a lot, but that was when I was like younger, and now I'm kind of like, you know, I get kind of tired of I get kind of tired of listening to musicals all the time sometimes, but
me too. You gotta be diverse.
I gotta
pop in the Eminem and listen to him. Just kidding. Okay, so my obsessions, I'm like I downloaded a new dating app about like a week and a half ago. Oh no, it's totally fine. I'm on Hinge. And it's just so fun. It's been really fun because I haven't really been on like dating apps for a while. And so I kind of got that. And I really like the format. This is the first time Hinge came out while I was in a relationship. So I hadn't ever gotten on it before until I was single again. And it's really fun. And I've been like talking to a couple guys from it. And it's like, I'm obsessed. It's so fun. I love flirting, you guys. Like sometimes I worry that I'm never going to be okay to settle down because I just love flirting and like getting to know new guys and go on dates. So
I know.
Yeah. So I'm obsessed with dating
so many suitors. Well, no, that's funny. Cause Hinge, I will say out of all of them, is the one that I've had like I've met the best guys on there for sure.
Yeah, there's like the most great caliber of humans.
Because on Bumble, everybody wants to cuddle. It's like, stop. Like, I don't. Why does everybody want to cuddle on Bumble? Like, I guess because we're in a beehive. Like, what the heck? I don't know. Like,
you know,
it's like I got so many messages being like, "Want to cuddle?" And I'm like, I don't even know you. I don't want to get killed.
You're like, I don't even know if I want to meet you yet. Why do I know if I want to cuddle? I'm a very like physically affectionate person. but only to the people that I've decided I like trust you and I like you. So when I
Yes.
first start like dating, getting to know somebody, if they're like, oh, you want, if they make a comment about wanting to cuddle, I'm like, ew, that sounds awful. I don't even know if I enjoy you. Like,
I
ew.
know.
And
Too
then when I do
soon.
decide I like you, I'm like, I'm obsessed with always touch. So it's, I can
I
understand why
know.
it's confusing to people. But
Yeah.
I'm obsessed with that. It's been like so fun. And then another obsession I have right now is journaling because I made a New Year's resolution to journal more and I just love it. And I kind of feel like a little bit like I'm in a Jane Austen film when I'm like, today I saw this happen. And I like try and just, I know I probably will just have to leave it in my will to burn all of my journals when I do die because I'll be like, that's so embarrassing. I can't have people read that. But it's just so, it's such a fun outlet to me to like talk about the things that happen and try and like phrase it in a really beautiful, poetic way that I can go back and read and be like, oh, I
Love
was on
that.
something that day, or be like, oh, that's so great. I remember I'm in that moment again because I'm reading it.
Mhm.
So
No,
I love journaling.
I really love that. I actually, so I was obsessed with the Princess Diaries when
Mhm.
I was in middle school, like because I watched the movie, I loved it, and then I found out there were books, and I was like, oh, I have to read all of them. So my
Love that.
friend, she had all of them, and so she let me borrow them all, and then I just eventually like at half price books, like bought all of them because I was like, I just love them. So I
Mhm.
was obsessed with those books, and then she wrote it in her diary, so I was like, I need to write in my diary. So I used to write like I had like a diary for school for a long
Mhm.
time and I kept them. And then I remember I was like, don't open until 2009, like when I graduated. And I don't know where those journals are. I don't know if
That's
I
so
feel like
cute.
I feel like I might have thrown some of them away, but
Yeah.
because I think I was like, I didn't want to like see them anymore because they were like it was like when I was so full of angst, you
Oh
know?
yeah. Yeah.
So I think I was embarrassed that I didn't want to see them anymore, but I hope that I didn't. I don't know.
hmm
Anyway,
I had
but
that too, actually. There was a time in my life where I was going through a lot of turmoil and I wrote in my journal every single day. And I said several times as I was writing that, like, I'm not going to keep this journal. I'm going to burn it. And I genuinely had every intention to burn that journal after I finished it because I was
mhm,
like, I'm being 100% honest. I am putting it all in here so that I can kind of just decompress and like get it out, you know?
mhm,
Um, and now that journal is one of my favorites because it is just so real, you know? But it's
mhm.
like once I took off the pressure that I was like, I'm burning this, I'm just getting it out, and then nobody's ever going to read it again. I could be really, really authentic and honest in it. And now I'm like, oh, I feel no shame of keeping this and reading it, or even if somebody else were to read it. But I don't know, like sometimes
Yeah,
that pressure of other people reading it, I'm like, oh.
I know. Yeah,
But keep a
I
journal, you
know.
guys. It's like pays off so much to
Yeah.
have that memory.
I need to start doing that again for real. My mom's best friend from since 4th grade, she kept a journal and wrote in it every day. She was very persistent about it.
That's so cool.
I know. I know it is really cool. Yeah, I need to do that again. I actually made this really funny tweet the other day. I was like, let me read it. I said, um because I just am like so annoyed with people on Twitter sometimes. I said diaries need to come back. Let's not use Twitter as our diary. Okay, thanks, bye. Oh my
Well,
god.
that's
Like hashtag
such
oh
a
my
good
god.
point. Claudia. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I know. Like I'm so tired of people. I don't understand why they think it's a good idea to vomit on Twitter,
No, well,
like word
especially now
vomit on
because
Twitter.
like we know anything you put on the internet doesn't leave. So if you say something in a moment of authenticity, but like you're in a situation and then later you're like, oh, that's not really accurate to me, it's still out there. Like
I
people still see
know.
that.
So write in your diary and then like no, like don't like stop. Like stop.
Yeah.
Even on Facebook or Instagram, like yeah, it's just
Well, also like you're kind of still looking for like approval from people, you know, on
mhm,
Twitter. If you're writing in your journal, nobody's going to see it. You can just like be really real. But if you're putting it on the internet, there's a part of you that wants to get a reaction or get
mhm.
somebody's approval, you know.
Yeah, it's very odd to me
Twitter has
when
replaced a
people
journal in a lot of ways, and I think that that's not a good thing.
healthy. I know sometimes I just want like social media to like erupt and like all of a sudden none of it works anymore and we're like, oh, and then we have to like figure out
Yeah. Well,
how
that
to
happened too. That happened a lot.
I know. But I'm saying
It's a lot
like
of
for
things
the
going on.
world,
Yeah.
or I guess for the, I don't know, for the world, and like that
Yeah.
social media is like just gone. And then we have to like write letters. I would love
Well, and
that.
even like smartphones, they're so great, but you think about even when I was in high school, I had a cell phone, but it wasn't the convenience. Like if you made a plan, you kind of had to show up to it because you couldn't just be like, oh, change your plans, let's meet here instead. And everyone be like, oh yeah, I got the message instantly and I can find on my maps where to go instantly. Like you had to put an effort to things and show up to them and like be there. And now a smartphone just makes it so easy to be wishy-washy and to bail or to go do something else because you feel like that's going to be more rewarding. And it kind of has gotten rid of our, I don't know, like our dependability in some
But
way.
yeah, everyone is like really sketchy now.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, it's so dumb. Let's go back to
Mm-mm.
the 90s.
I know. See,
Backstreet Boys
I
and
feel like we
New
were
Kids on
in
the Block.
like the prime in the 90s and like no one knew it. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Oh
Like
yeah.
no one knew it. Yeah.
Uh-huh. I even would be okay to go back to grunge. Let's do it. I'm
To
down.
where?
Like the grunge period, where everyone
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I thought you
we're
said the
doing it.
Grinch. I was like, what are we going to be whose?
Let's go to Whoville, everyone. We'll just be happier there. In a lot of ways.
Oh my
Okay.
God. I
Well,
cannot. That's so funny. Okay.
any more obsessions? Or are we good to dive in?
I think we're good to dive in.
Okay,
Yeah.
so this episode, now that we've gotten to the point of it, we're going to talk about Bridgerton, dear listener, because everyone's obsessed with it, and we just thought it'd be fun to throw in our opinion as well. Why not?
Yeah, exactly. And disclaimer, we're
Mhm.
probably going to talk about this again later because, like a bad person that I am,
Oh my gosh, you are not.
I have not finished it because, okay, here's what happened, you guys. I started watching it with my mom around Christmas and I was wrapping presents while I was watching it. So I missed some of it. We watched like 4 episodes in a row. And then I was like, okay, I need to go back and watch from the beginning. And then because I missed some things. So that's what I started doing. But then this week I just kept on falling asleep. And so I kept on like not like getting it done. So I am like, I rewatched the first 4. Now I'm on episode 4, but I did actually see the last episode because I was with a friend who was like wanting to watch the last episode because,
Yeah.
they wanted to like figure out what happened at the end. I was like, okay, sure, I'll watch the last episode. So
So most of what happens. There's like some little gaps that you have and you'll follow up and finish that. But so we might
yeah,
not do like everything in this episode, but we wanted to talk about it, especially since we're getting into our Emma episodes. And then if we feel the need to circle back and follow up on this, we can. So
yeah.
okay. So just overall of what you've watched it, what's your opinion? Have you enjoyed it?
Yes and no. I just feel like it's some things like are unnecessary to show. I don't
What
know.
do you mean? If you guys haven't watched Bridgerton yet, I will just say I don't feel like I can recommend you watch it.
Basically,
But
I don't really need to see like, people boning all the time.
there's a lot of sex
Basically.
in this. And
Yeah, there's a lot of
here's my
boning,
thing.
which
For a Regency film, I don't love that. I
I don't
just feel
either.
because I feel like it's putting such a modern lens on an era, and if you're going to do something in that era, do it correctly, and I get that
Mhm.
there's this whole genre of like romance in the Regency, and people want like the scandal and the all of that. I
Well,
get
yeah,
that.
and obviously that stuff did happen back then. We're not saying that it didn't, but but
But
okay, but here's
it
the
didn't
thing.
happen like it does today, like
Yeah, yeah.
I think we look back on history and we're like, well, they said it was such a chaste time, but like we know that they were like boning in the drawing room sometimes, and they might have been, but not like we are casual and dating and physical relationships today. Like it is a totally different ballgame now
Mhm.
than it was back
Mhm.
in the day, and we can't pretend like it's the same. Like yes, there
Yeah.
were things that were similar but not the same, and that just bothers me. That is a personal preference where I'm like, if we're going to do a Regency film, let's do it correctly. And that was clearly just so not authentic, and that's okay. It was, for me, I feel like it was a fairy tale Jane Austen film. Like,
Hmm.
Jane Austen was already a little fairy tale-ish in her time, but this is like taking it today and being like, this is the fairy tale version of what a Jane Austen story and movie is, you know?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if you're okay with a fairy tale Regency, watch it.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah.
What were you saying?
Now I'm trying to remember. Yeah, it just was, which it doesn't like, I'm not like uncomfortable watching it. I just would look at it and be like, was this really necessary? Like, you can get the idea of what they're doing.
Yeah, without
You know what
like
I mean?
graphic scenes of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
basically. But,
Okay, I agree. And can
it's
I
just my
just,
opinion, and that's cool if you disagree. Like, it doesn't really, but
yeah, I mean, it's our podcast. Don't get mad at us. Okay, can I just say though, like, this is a safe place, so I'm going to talk about it. I despise, I really do not like masturbation scenes. I just
yeah.
hate it. I
Yeah,
just
I
want
don't
to talk
really
about
like
it.
it
I
either.
don't know who would like it. Like, why? That just seems weird to me.
Yeah.
If you disagree, I don't really want to hear about it, so don't send us an email. But I like that, to me, I was just like, why are we,
Well, it's kind of like in Black Swan when that happened. That
oh
was
my
really
gosh, I
uncomfortable.
could not watch that whole scene. I just fast forwarded. I was like,
Mhm.
I was uncomfortable.
That was
I
a
feel like that's
really,
weird.
yeah. I don't really like them either. I don't.
No, yeah,
I
no,
don't
me
know.
neither.
I just feel like it's unneeded, and oh yeah,
And I
yeah.
feel like I get the whole point of why they had that in there, because they're kind of like, it's like essentially the story of like a sexual awakening for this girl, and
Hmm.
I can see where that would seem interesting, because back in the day they were so prim and proper and like not, it wasn't okay to do that, which is why there's so many balls that happen in these movies. Like, you go to a grand ball so that you can dance with somebody of the opposite sex and text, you can touch their hand, like that,
Yeah.
and that's another thing that I have a problem with this. Like, everyone's like, oh my gosh, the tension, it's so romantic, the way that they build this chemistry just through them like dancing. And I'm like, well, yeah, haven't you ever watched any Jane Austen film? Haven't you ever watched anything? Like, that's the whole thing, that you have this huge amount of romance in really simple gestures, you
Mhm.
know?
Yeah, that's what I love about Jane Austen,
Yeah. So I
is the
kind of feel like in some
simpleness of
ways,
it.
yes, I feel like in some ways Bridgerton like just exploited that and made it really obvious. And so people that haven't really loved Regency films or like period dramas
Hmm.
are watching it and they're like, oh my gosh, this is so good. And I'm like, yeah, but this has happened forever. There's so many good classic films where they utilize that and show like the looks of passion and longing that they give each other and the touches of sweet little moments of connection. But they're like, Bridgerton is like
And
starting this. And I'm like, no, they're not. They're just like,
and
mm,
the letters are,
yes, the love
yes.
letters and
Hmm.
the promises made, and why it's such a betrayal when somebody like tells you something and then doesn't follow through on it. So,
Willoughby.
not that we're naming names, but
Willoughby.
oh, Willoughby.
Still mad at him. I always will be mad at him.
I
Why
know
did you have to do
he
that?
really is. I think he's like the ultimate betrayer out of all of her characters.
Even
So
way
sad.
more than Wickham.
Yeah, yeah, I
Way
agree.
more than Wickham.
It's a W's.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Okay.
as far as just like the aesthetic value of this show, though, how did you feel about like the costumes and the hair and all of that? Because it really was a modern twist
Yeah.
to
So I
Regency.
am not a costume like I do have friends though that are costume like majored in costume design,
Like
and
purists.
they know history really well with
Okay.
costumes. So
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
not
yeah.
the best person to know what is accurate and what's not.
Mhm.
I will say I was confused on why sometimes they had their hair down in public.
Oh my gosh, that was such a pet peeve of mine.
Yeah,
Inappropriate.
yeah, right. They wouldn't have their hair down, right?
No.
I'm not wrong in saying that. When did that start? When did they start having hair down?
So I don't know. I mean, again, history buff here. I would say like probably turn of the century.
Yeah. Because around,
Like in 1920s is when people started like putting their
that's
hair
right,
down and cutting it so that it was in a style
cutting
instead of
it.
being up,
Okay. That's
as
right.
far as
That's
I
right.
know.
It would be 1920s
Yeah.
because yeah. So yeah, because then again, I remember in Titanic. Oh, I mean, I'm wearing a Titanic sweatshirt. Haha, I work there. But in Titanic,
You're here.
it's there's love. But no, in Titanic, I remember being confused when her hair is in that braid
Yeah.
and she's like in public.
Yeah. Because, okay, just to clarify, if you don't know, back in the day, if a girl had her hair down, that meant that she was still a girl. She wasn't eligible to date and to get married. Once you put your hair up, that was like a sign that you could court somebody. It was like a sign of maturity and that you were available for men to show attention to you.
Yes.
So the
Yes.
fact that in Titanic and in Bridgerton that there's these girls out trying to find a husband in society and their hair's down, that's like so inappropriate. That would not have
Mhm.
happened.
Yeah, that's
So
what I thought too.
yeah,
Yeah.
that
So
bugs
that
me.
bothered me. And then okay, have you seen Amadeus? The movie
Yes.
about Mozart. So right. So he had like those ridiculous wigs and stuff. I don't know how accurate that is, right?
Yeah. I know
Because
that guys would wear wigs, especially like depending on
well no,
their
wigs I
position, but
well he had like ridiculous wigs like pink
oh
wigs and like
yes.
that's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
In the French courts, I know that that was more common, that they were
Okay.
super flamboyant and they would do like a lot
Uh-huh.
of like out there things, but I
Hmm.
don't know how extreme it was if they would actually like
Okay.
have
Well,
pink wigs
because
in it.
like the
But
Queen's wigs were
oh
just like
yes,
insane.
I know. And that was like the thing I felt torn between it because I was like, it's so visually pretty, but it is not accurate at all. And it kind of bugs me a little bit. Like,
It seemed like you said, it seems like a fairy tale. Like this is
yes.
like a made up, like, oh, that's the queen in some like,
Yeah.
uh
Like a
Grimm
painting of some
Brothers
kind in a
Grimm,
little
like
kid's thing.
brothers. Yeah, like a Brothers Grimm type story for
Yes,
sure.
totally. Um, and like that, I don't know, the same thing, the queen's wigs definitely like they were so cool, but I also was like, wow, that's just like really not
Mhm.
something that I would expect in this era. And then also Miss is it Featherington, the family that has the three girls that are all out at once, which again
I
wouldn't
think
happen.
so.
You don't have three sisters out in society at once unless it is Pride and Prejudice, and even then it was weird.
Oh, really?
But
I didn't know
yeah.
that.
No, you would have like the oldest sister would come out, and then sometimes, depending on ages, like the sister right under her would come out, but you wouldn't have a bunch of girls out in society at once because you would want to kind of create a sense of like urgency that like our girls are hot commodities. so, so we get them married and the other one can't come out until she's married, you know?
Mhm.
Um, but so that was like a little odd. But then also her dresses, like the silhouette of them, the shape of them, I was like, this is like 1950s style almost. Like
Which
she's
of the
not wearing what
queen?
she should be wearing. No, Miss Featherington.
Oh, yes, 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 yes. Okay.
It bothered me. They were so
Yeah.
pretty, but they weren't
Hmm.
correct, you know?
Hmm. I
So
understand.
that's, and I get that's all creative license and everything, which also I want to know, you had kind of told me a little bit about the music that they did
Hmm.
in there.
Yeah, it just bothered me, and I honestly like wouldn't have noticed it if I didn't have the subtitles on. But
Oh
in
yeah.
like the first ball they go to, it says like Ariana Grande, thank you next, and I just rolled my eyes so hard because I was just like, no, like the point of. I understand they're trying to appeal to the modern audiences, and I get it. But
Hmm.
for me, when I watch a Regency film, I want to be completely transformed into the era.
Yeah.
And when I hear familiar pop songs, I get thrown out. Like I want to hear their pop songs of the
Ugh.
day. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Um, I totally get what you're saying. I had a little bit of a different reaction to it. I actually liked how they used that music because one, I thought it was so pretty. And then I thought
Hmm.
that was kind of I mean, you can tell so much just from the musical score that you choose for a movie. And so I did like how they showed that modern side to it through the music, even though it was
Yeah.
appropriate because they had orchestras playing those songs. It wasn't like you didn't hear Ariana Grande singing, you heard her
Hmm.
song played through an orchestra. Um, and it's so pretty. And I thought that was like a creative way to do that. And I wish that they had done that more with like the music than with the costumes and the hair a little
Yeah.
bit, you
You
know.
know, Miss Featherington, though, because she played Jane Fairfax in the Gwyneth Paltrow version.
I know that blew my mind when you told me
Don't
that
you see
earlier.
it, though? Don't you see it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Once you
Yeah.
mentioned
Not
it, I
fun.
got it. Hmm.
But she, her, and then not so much Penelope, but her and then her other two sisters, they just reminded me so much of the stepmother and stepsisters from
Yes.
Cinderella.
100%. I agree with that.
Like it, well, and it kind of reminded me of the Brandy version with Bernadette Peters.
Yeah.
Like kind of, they're like the clothing, the colors, and that's really what struck to me. I was like, oh, this is
Yeah.
like the Brandy version.
Yeah. Oh, I thought that too. I'm glad you had that thought because there were several times
Yeah.
where I was like, are they doing a fairy tale or are they trying to tell like a
Mhm.
story, you know? And that
And
bothered
the
me.
the hard part is those that you and I haven't read the books yet, so that's something we should
Yeah.
definitely eventually read.
Yeah.
My sister read them, and my sister is like always up on all of the Regency novel stuff. And she was like, way before this came out, she, I think like a year or two ago, she goes, Claudia, there's a girl from Dairy Girls, which I don't know if you've seen that show.
I love Dairy Girls.
Yes,
It's
it is
so funny.
so good. She was like, Claudia, the girl from Dairy Girls is in this new series, Bridgerton.
Hmm.
And I was like, oh, okay. And she, like, I looked up, she was, yeah, she's playing Penelope, blah, blah, blah. I was like, oh, that's
Hmm.
so cool. I love her. I'm excited because I really do love that actress. I think she's brilliant. I think she's
She's
really
so
good.
funny.
And she did a really nice job as Penelope too. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think she
Hmm.
did good. I actually, um, halfway through watching the series, I had a thought about her character where I was like, I think she's probably the deepest character on this
Hmm.
actually. Like
Yeah.
she's dealing with the most real issues. She's like kind of being the most practical and not selfish, you know, like I really actually enjoyed her character a lot.
Hmm. And it was
Um
fun seeing her play more of a calm character because in
yes.
Dairy Girls, she's like always like freaking out. I mean, she's so
Uh,
freaking cute. I love her.
she's so funny. I really like Dairy Girls. I enjoy that one a lot.
Oh, I do
Um
too.
so also I just have a problem like the brothers, the
Yeah, I noticed that. So after you, because we Marco Polo all the time, after you had told me about this, I was like, oh yeah, that is weird. Because I didn't just go ahead and then I'll say my thoughts for it.
they chose very very handsome brothers. So the Bridgerton family has three older brothers and they're all kind of at the age where they're supposed to be finding a wife and they're all so handsome.
Hmm.
But I just was so annoyed watching them because they have the oldest brother Anthony, and
Hmm.
then the brother younger than him Benedict, and then the brother younger than him, I don't even remember his name. What is his name? Do you
I don't
remember?
know.
I
No,
don't
I have
know.
no idea.
He's
I
hot.
just see a pretty face.
Yeah, that's all I need. So Anthony, the eldest, and then Benedict, younger than him. Benedict looks
Hmm.
like he is in his 40s.
Yeah, he does. He looks way older.
He
And
might
the
be in
funny
his 40s
thing,
for all we know, but why does he look it?
well, the most hilarious thing is that when I first watched it, I had thought that he was older. And then
Yeah, me too.
yeah. And then I go, oh, Anthony's supposed to be older? That's
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah, it really bothers me watching it because I'm like, I even think he does a good job depicting the character. He's very endearing and all of that. But I'm just like, why does he look so much older? Why are they like, come on?
Yeah.
It takes
I
me,
don't
it
know.
just bugs me. It's stuff like that that bothers me.
Yeah. And Anthony is like totally hottie boom body. My
Oh, yeah,
gosh.
he's so cute.
I know.
I know all three of those boys are very
Adorable.
attractive.
Hmm.
Well done, sirs.
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
Especially boys look so much better in those clothes. Ugh.
Oh my gosh, they're just so they just look powerful. They just look like they have an authority and they know what they're
Yes.
doing, you know?
Yes, they do. Well, and it's funny because have you seen the show? I talked to you about this before. Have you seen the show oh gosh, what's it called? It's on PBS, and it was on PBS. It was on YouTube for a while. Where it was in the 2000s, I think, early 2000s, and they all go back and live as an Edwardian family and servants.
Okay,
What's
I
it
think
called?
you told me about that, and I
Yeah,
want
but
to watch it.
now I can't remember what the name of it is
I don't
called. Oh,
know.
it's driving me
The Help,
nuts.
I don't know.
It's something house. Um,
Oh,
anyway, but it's just, now I'm so annoyed. I'm gonna have to Google it right now. Anyway, but it's a really cool show, and I wish that they would do it. But basically, these people lived as an award, like there was a family that lived as the lord and lady of the house with their son, and it
mhm.
was basically like a reality TV show, and they lived for 5 months, and then they had a group of servants and all that, and it was just fun to see. But the sad part about it is when the boys, after so before, when the show starts, you never see them in their regular clothes. You only see the people in like the Edwardian style outfits, like all
Uh-huh.
of that. Anyway, and so you never see that. So like the butlers look like so yummy and all of that, you know.
Yeah.
But then at the very end, they reveal what they look like in normal day, and it's really sad.
Okay, that's how I felt about
Oh,
um
Manor
s-
House, Manor House, Manor House,
Manor
Manor
House.
House.
Okay,
That's
I
what it's
want to
called.
watch that.
Yep.
I'm gonna make a note because I want to watch that. That's how I felt about the main male character in this, Simon the Duke.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, and I can't remember his name. It's Reggie Jean or something. I can't remember, but he is so yummy in Bridgerton.
Yeah,
And then I saw a picture of him outside of that in normal modern clothes, and I was like, eh.
I
Like I really was
know.
like, he's okay. I wouldn't have seen him and been like, oh yum. Which
I
the
know.
first scene of him in Bridgerton, I was like, oh my gosh, yes, you know?
Exact. Me too, for sure. Yeah, it makes me sad. I just, I don't know. I wish that
Yeah.
guys would dress better.
I wonder if that's maybe like an attraction because like we're so like okay, just hear me out. Like gender roles now are so closely related. What do you wear every day? I wear like pants and a t-shirt, like sometimes I wear
Hmm.
a dress, but hardly ever. And it's just like so similar. And back in the day, it was so starkly different. Like women
Hmm.
dressed a certain way, wore certain things, did certain things, men did something
Hmm.
else. And so I think there's like an innate attraction that develops that way because it's like the opposite of you, where you see him and you're like, ooh, this is so different, you know?
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
feel like I've
Yeah.
always thought that that was like one of the elements that created like the tension and the attraction in
Yeah.
Regency and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
I
So,
know. Well, when I was little, I grew up in more colder climates, and now
mhm.
I live in more of a warmer climate. So I will say I wear dresses a lot, a lot, a lot, a lot. Like,
Oh, I'm with you.
so
In the summertime, I like
yeah,
hate wearing pants. I only want to wear dresses.
yeah, exactly. So when I can wear dresses, I usually do. Like the only reason that I don't is because like some of my if it's a cold day and I don't have leggings clean, then that's when I'm
Hmm.
wearing pants. But yeah.
Yeah. Um,
But I agree. Even in like the 1950s and 40s, guys looked so much better in that clothing.
so yummy.
I
Yeah.
know. Now it's kind of a big bummer.
Everyone just looks like a homeless person. Just kidding.
Yeah.
Uh, um,
But that's why
and
I
then
get so excited, like being in musicals. I know the majority of the guys, are, not interested in girls, but when they're in musicals, but I get so excited when we're in a time period and I'm like, you guys look so good. Like I was in
it's so
Newsies.
cute. Oh,
I was in Newsies and I was, I think, one of four girls on that show. And I just was like, this is heaven. I am
guys in
surrounded.
Newsies look so hot.
I know I am
So hot.
surrounded by these delicious and like gorgeous like boys in these yummy newsboy outfits. Sell me that paper,
Mm.
please.
You could
I
be
would
the
just
king of
remember,
that New York. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
well, he doesn't want to be the king of your New York, Bethany, because you're not
Huh.
Bob.
I know.
Isn't that sad?
It is
It's sad. It's hard
disappointing.
because I know it's very in theater. It's very very
Yeah.
slim for the straight girl to find a boy.
So going back to Bridgerton and all this sex, I just have to say that I think it's kind of dumb, the point of the story. Okay, spoiler alert here. If you haven't guessed already, we're going to do spoiler alerts. But like one of the big issues in the movie is that Simon and Daphne fall in love, but there's like an issue of them getting married because Simon doesn't want to have children. He like doesn't want to carry on his family's name, and like it's kind of a spiteful thing to his dad. So, and Daphne wants to get married and have a family. Like that's what she wants. So they get married kind of out of necessity, but he's like, I can't give you kids. And she's like, that's okay. I want to be with you. So she like makes this decision, but she doesn't understand why he can't have kids. And I just think it's so stupid because going back to the lens of a regency thing, and back in the day, if you didn't want to have kids, you wouldn't get married. You wouldn't really be having sex because birth control is not viewed then as it is now. Like if you were going to have sex, you were most likely going to get pregnant, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And it just like bothered me a lot watching it and like that storyline play out because I was just like, this is stupid. Like he wouldn't be having sex if he really was that obsessed with like not having kids. And it bugged me.
Well,
Like I know not everyone
okay.
agrees with that, but
No, but also but he also is I mean, a selfish creature, like all of us
yes.
on this earth are, and he has those selfish urges and desires.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're in the moment, you're not thinking about that necessarily. You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because he almost went with that opera girl.
Yeah. No,
You know what I
I
mean?
know. I just think that like, but I mean, this is kind of like gross and dark, but like he had more control over the situation there. Like he could be like, you can't have that kid, you know? But if he gets
Oh.
married and he's going to have a sexual relationship with her, like
Hmm.
the, the method he was using to
Yeah,
not get pregnant
marriage.
is not that reliable, you know?
No, well, also, but they probably didn't know that back then,
Yeah, but they
like as
did
well.
because they know that's why sex was guarded so much because it's like if you have sex, you have such a high chance of getting pregnant,
Yeah.
you know?
Hmm.
So I don't
Yeah.
know.
No,
That just
no, I
bothered me. And I felt that
understand.
that was
I
dumb, that that was
understand.
such an integral part of the plot where I was like, really? That's that's what we're
Yeah.
dealing with.
Yeah, I understand. I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. That's again where I don't know. It just seemed a little too heavy on the sex a little bit.
Yeah.
I was just like, this is a little much, but it's
Yeah.
okay. You know.
Yes. Then Miss what's her bucket? Whistledown. Okay, so Whistledown's like
Uh-huh.
the one writing all this stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say who, but there was a reveal at the end of the season where you think you know who it is. It might not be that person, but like they present it as that's who it is. And I was disappointed in that. I felt like that wasn't accurate to like
Mhm.
I just felt like that was far-fetched to who they
Well,
said
it
the
is.
Whistledown
It
was.
is. I guess I think we just probably have to read the book because I'm sure that they would be different.
Yeah, that's true.
You
Yeah.
know. Well, and I will say I have now knowing because since I watched the last episode with my
Mhm.
friend, and so now I know who it is. But
Yes.
now I'm back and watching it, knowing who it is. I'm like picking up on little things
Oh,
that I
interesting.
didn't notice because I was like,
Mhm.
oh, she's the only one at this part looking at this part. Like if you, I remember I saw like this
I
line
get ya. She's like
this line
watching
of
something
people at
happen.
yeah, I saw this line of people at a ball and like something was happening, I think with the prince or something, and she was the only one that moved her head. And I was like,
Okay.
oh, that's
Interesting.
interesting.
See,
Yeah.
I guess it's not so much that I don't think she would see that stuff. I think it's just like Whistledown was presented as somebody who was very comfortable and aware of society and how it worked. And
She
so the
seems a
person that
little
they
young
had,
for it,
yeah,
you think? Okay.
yeah, or like she just wouldn't have the experience to be able to draw those things
Yeah,
and
I
write about
see.
them,
I
you
see
know?
what you mean. I see what you mean.
So that to me, I was like, wait, is that really her or are they throwing us off? Because
Now, is Lady
how?
Whistledown? I don't even know. Understand? I don't really understand. This is why I want to read the book. I don't understand how the paper like got started, or
Well,
like.
I think, because I haven't read the book either, but from what I remember in the first episode, somebody's reading Lady Whistledown, and the mom was like, "Oh, is that another gossip column? Like, is that another?" Like, basically insinuating that there's like tabloids of today's standards back in the day that they would write about the season, the sociable season, and be like, "Oh, this person's dating this person," and it's like spread
Hmm.
all the rumors. And so she thought that it was like just another kind of dumb magazine that's talking about everyone's business. But they were like, well, this one's different. She's like actually naming people and talking about specific scandals. And so that's why it was like the new edition of the gossip column that came out that was like, oh, I'm really gonna like give you the truth and like what's really happening.
Hmm.
So I think that's why that one was such a sensation, because people wanted like more detail and more intrigue from
Hmm.
it.
I just
But
wonder where, okay, so I'm just thinking of logistics, right? So
right, that's my
she,
question too.
yeah, so she writes this in her room or whatever, but
Yeah.
then who does she give it to?
Yeah.
Does she send it? Does she, like, how does she do that in secret without,
Well, because
like,
that was part of the scandal, that they were like, it's a woman writing. So a woman being able to write something and get it published, that already takes like influence and clout.
well, I'm just wondering because you would think that with her having maids, that there would be talk, like, I feel like a maid would have to know, or a butler would have
Yeah,
to know that
that's
she
such
was
a good
writing
point.
this. So you would think that they would talk, you know what I'm saying? Because with the
Yeah.
maids, like, especially, like, I don't know. I mean, well, maybe I was just about to say, well, maybe, well, I guess typically they always had the same maid, but I do know that, like, especially just like watching Downton Abbey, like the servants would get jobs elsewhere and like move. So
Hmm.
maybe that's my thing, is like, well, if she had a servant that moved, and then she like would spread the rumor, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was her. I
Yeah.
don't know. I just
I
don't know
just
how
don't.
it would not get out.
Yes. I don't know how she would have been able to keep it secret, how she would have logistically been able to get it done, and then how
Hmm.
she would have maturely been able to see all of that and understand all of it and comment on it
Yes.
how she was.
Yes. Well, and
So,
I also think that with Eloise, which is the sister of, because since I have seen the last episode, which is
yes.
the sister of the main character,
Hmm.
um, how she thought that the dressmaker was Lady Whistledown, right?
Yeah.
Did she think it was? Yeah, and that
Yeah.
actually
Like
makes
a
a lot more sense.
tradeswoman. It
Yeah, that
does.
actually makes a lot more sense than who they had be Little Lady Whistledown, because she has her own shop. So she can write her column when the
Hmm.
shop is closed and
Yeah.
alone.
She would
And
actually
she
have
has more,
privacy.
like, privacy. She has more privacy.
The privacy. Old fashioned privacy.
Yeah, so that would make a lot more sense why she would be, how she would be Lady Whistledown,
Yeah.
not who they had.
Yeah. I agree. I don't know. So that, like, I'm still kind of not sold on that. I really like the character that they portray as her. So in that sense,
Mhm.
I want it to be her, but I also just don't feel like it makes sense for it to
I
be
know.
her.
I think that there probably was something in the book that they made more clear that we
Yeah,
don't know.
maybe. And I know that they're supposed to do other seasons, so maybe in the coming seasons we'll understand that more, which would be good.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll see.
We'll see. I
Mm,
don't know.
yeah, I don't know. Anyway,
Yeah.
that was about it from me.
Yeah, yeah. I know. I think we've been chatting for a while,
Yeah,
so
we're coming up on our
we're
time,
coming
but
up on our time. Um,
yes.
yeah. So anyway, so you guys will have a follow-up of
Yeah.
this when I finish it. I'm sorry.
That's okay. It happens. There's so much to do and so much to watch, and so it's okay. You spent
Yeah.
your time doing important things than watching
Yeah.
Bridgerton. That's okay.
I know. I
Um,
know. Yeah.
so as we wrap it up and head on out, we wanted to start doing a little thing, just a chit chat to close out the episodes, where we talk about a highlight and a low light of our week, and something. Basically, the highlight will be like something that was an uplifting moment for us, or something that we really enjoyed or that was meaningful, and then the low light is maybe just like, meh, the pits. If you watch the Kardashians,
Wah,
they
wah,
talk about
wah.
the peak and the pits or whatever.
Yeah.
um so
Uh,
a highlight and a low light. Do you have one?
yeah. So my highlight would be my second grade class. They like to they have a problem with like fighting and not getting along, but
Mhm.
they've made like a huge improvement this week. And actually one of the girls, and she's the one of these little girls, she's so sweet. She's been through a lot, but she has made such an improvement, and the class has made such an improvement of like loving on each other and cheering each other on. Well, for
Mhm.
example, there's this sweet little girl who gets super upset when she doesn't win a game. And she's
Aw.
like, I never win. And I'm like, no, you actually have. Like, you've won a lot, but you just don't remember.
Yeah.
So she's like crying. And so all the girls are like trying to like comfort her. And it's really cute. Anyway, so then she did win a game this past week. And
Mhm.
everyone was like,
Oh,
like,
that's so
yeah,
cute.
it was really sweet. Yeah. So that was definitely my high. And that they're getting along a lot better and doing a lot better, I think, than in the constant fighting.
Oh,
So
that's
that's
sweet.
good.
I like that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So what about you? What was your high?
My highlight. So I have a little brother. He's 10 years younger than me, and he is serving a mission for our church in California. And he gets home in a couple weeks. So I'm really excited. He's been there for two
Yay.
years, but I don't know, like I'm still confused by this. I sent him an email be like, how did this happen? But he has corona right now.
Oh no. So
So
how
he
has he been doing the mission? How does that work? You can't knock
oh
on doors.
yeah, no, it started that way that he was able to go out and proselyte,
Yeah.
as they call it, like go out and see people. But when everything shut down, they were kind of just quarantined in California, everyone was. And so they started doing like Zoom meetings to teach people and stuff like that. And it's really interesting how they adapted to be able to um still teach and serve and stuff like that, but they did a lot like virtually. So they were able to go out for a while and kind of meet with people, obviously safely, as would be expected. But then he got corona, and so the other missionaries that were serving with them, they're all like, well, I guess we're all locked down until this like gets done, which really sucks that
No.
it's like the last couple of weeks of his mission. But I got on my email, my Google Drive the other day, and he had uploaded a bunch of pictures to my Google Drive, and I don't know how he did it because I didn't think he had access to it, but he had uploaded all these pictures of them, just like all these teenage like 19-20-year-olds that are out on a mission, like goofing off, stuck in this apartment together. And it was just like these funny like blurry pictures and all this stuff, and I was looking through them and I was like, oh, they're so cute and dumb. Like, I love
Aww.
them.
Yeah, and
So it was really fun.
is he the brother that wrote that really cute review on our
Yeah,
Facebook?
isn't that
Oh,
sweet of him?
yeah, that was
Yeah.
so cute. Oh my God, you guys, I didn't bring my lamp in here because it's getting dark in Florida and I'm like getting dark
We
over
have to
here.
end this now. I'm just joking.
So I'm like, oh, because the sun's going down. I'm like, oh gosh, it's
So
getting dark.
funny.
I know.
Well, we'll wrap up. Low light for you?
I would say not finishing Bridgerton.
Oh,
Because that was my goal, was to have it like done by today, but it's okay.
yeah.
I'll finish it. I'll watch some today, a little bit tomorrow, and then I have Monday off because it's MLK Day. So, do you have that off too?
I do. Yeah, I'm so
Good,
excited.
good.
Maybe I'll get another date. Just kidding.
Ah!
Maybe.
Oh my
Um,
gosh.
okay, that's a good low light actually. I hate that when I have a goal to get something done and then don't. So I totally
I
feel you of
know.
being like, dang it.
I
But
know.
no stress. I think it worked out fine anyway. But I do want to hear your thoughts when you do finish it.
Okay. Yeah. We'll do another like section of it of
Yeah,
this on our we'll
that'll
do
be
it.
fun.
Yeah.
My low light was so I was gonna have a coworker over for dinner, and because
Uh-huh.
I just love her and her little family's so cute, and she got corona. I have this
Oh
corona,
no.
so I don't get to make dinner for her and her family anymore, and I was kind of sad about that. So that's my
Hmm.
low light. But
Yeah. Yeah.
everyone's safe. They're all doing fine, even if they have to quarantine. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
mhm. So that's a low
Oh.
light. Anyway, good. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, this was really fun.
It was
Thank you guys for
fun.
listening and hearing us out on our opinion on something. Obviously, we have, we have opinions, so
We
it's fun
do.
to talk about them. So make sure that you are all set to that you're subscribed so that this will download automatically to your device. You can find us on Apple, Spotify, or on the Anchor app. You can go right there. And there is also an option if you go to Anchor and you find our podcast there, there's an option where you can support the podcast. So you could sign up to donate on a regular basis there, and that would help us a lot with creating more content, different things like that. So if that's an option that you would like to do, find us there. You can also watch this on YouTube and enjoy the visual pleasure of seeing us create this podcast. It's always fun. And then make sure that you're following us on Instagram, because like we said at the beginning, we're going to be posting different things on there and going live and stuff like that. So you'll be able to see a lot more content from us, which we're really excited to produce for you guys.
Yeah, super fun.
Yes.
So everything Tea with Claudia and B.
Yes, find us there. You can also send us an email at teawithclaudiaandb@gmail.com if you have any comments for us or any suggestions or anything like that.
Oh, and
we'd love to hear from you.
Should we read some more reviews that we got on Apple?
Yeah, do you have any? I don't have any pulled up right now, but if you got some,
I can get it. Okay, so I have fun, beautiful ladies. So actually this review was posted right after we recorded our last one. Like it literally posted like that day. And I was like, dang it. Like we couldn't like say it like, cause it was right after we recorded our last one. So I'm interested in your individual story since I heard your voicemails being read on COTR. It's been a fun story, and I will confirm that not only do the both of you sound extremely hot, it's been confirmed via the Instagram. Too bad I exceed your perceived dating age gap preferences. Keep on sharing your love. Super sweet.
That's so cute. That. Thank you for that.
I know. And that it says it's from Disappointed Money, like all the money signs. I don't know who that
That's
is.
His name.
Yeah. I know. Isn't that funny?
So funny?
And then I have another one that says, yay, from Mary Goud. I'm happy I found you after hearing the whole mix-up story on Mock and Rob's podcast. I love you guys. Please don't stop doing these. And if you do, at least let me be your friend. Laughing emoji. Yes, Mary, we will totally be your friend.
Yeah, girl.
Yeah.
I love it. It makes me so happy that people are finding us from the radio show still.
Like, I know. Isn't that fun? I love it.
It's so fun. I love having you guys.
We do. And then we got remember that lady that like asked us, she like posted something, I don't remember her name now, and I feel bad, I should have had it ready. Anyway, but she was like, I enjoyed listening to your I'm trying to find it on Facebook right now. I enjoyed listening to your podcast. Are you guys dating anybody? Did you see that?
No.
Yeah, she posted it and now I can't find it. Anyway, I commented, I was like, we're currently dating around, but now I just can't, like, I have to find the comment to, oh wait, here it is. Amanda Thompson. This was December 23rd. I enjoy listening to your latest podcast, Heart to Hearts. And speaking of dating, are you both currently dating or in a relationship? Hope you don't mind me asking. And then like the emoji with the water like on the forehead. And then maybe you can spill the tea, LOL. And then I said, ask away. We are both single and dating here and there. Does that count as spilling tea? Laughing emoji. So
yeah. Well, if you guys want the tea on dating, I'm sure we could come up with some stuff.
Yeah, so that was fun.
That's so cute.
I know, it is so cute. I'm getting so dark.
Guys. I know. It's bedtime there. You gotta go.
Note to self, always bring the lamp in. It just was so light when I started. I didn't think anything of it.
Yeah, I know.
Oh my gosh.
We talked for a long time though. A lot changes.
I know, right? Okay, well, guys. We'll talk to you guys later.
Yeah, thanks so much. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Okay, I hit stop there. Okay, cool.
Awesome. Right, okay, YouTube. Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.